Anzac Day, the spirit. There was different stages throughout the course of the game where you didn't know who was going to win. Our guys are probably now really understanding how to fight through difficult times and then win, particularly when the pressure's on. We got 20 points up in the last quarter there, and I was still concerned because the Bulldogs, a good team, and they can move the ball quickly and score quickly. But, we're finding different ways to win, and it's not easy. And it's been a big 5 weeks for us, and now we get a chance to reassess, regroup, and move on.
Just on that, someone told you before the game you get 8 goals out of Van
Well, it doesn't matter who, but if you can get the guys that the opposition don't necessarily suspect are going to kick the goals, there's a lot of attention that's paid to Ballantyne and Main and those sort of guys down there, McPhee for that matter. And then it's the guys that go down there that complement the forward line now. We have different types of forward lines depending on the opposition, but more often than not it's been quite stable over the last 5 weeks, which has been important. Even though Van Berlo went down there today.
Was your heart in your mouth though as Kepler went for that ball and smashed that goal?
My heart's always in my mouth when Kepler's involved. He just keeps me on the edge, that boy.
Is it an indication of, and then you spoke about the maturity of the side coming in, that you have match winners outside of the obvious ones that can stand up there?
Well, we're getting there. Yeah, we are getting there. I said to some of our younger players who've had better players play on them today, this is where you find out where you're at and where you need to go to, particularly when Pavlich and Mundy and Sandilands and McFarlane for that, and Grover, they've been in really good form. And then all of a sudden you get a lot more closer attention, and it's how you evolve under that circumstance. So, Ballantyne 5, Main for that matter, Hill. I thought Ibbotson was terrific in his second game back too. So it's important that these blokes keep growing.
Have you laid the challenge to Van Berlo to really establish himself in this side?
Yeah, well, we've got a number of players that have had to fight for their careers, and I think that complements a good side. They're desperate, and if you talk about body on the line, like the Diggers did for Australia, we try to replicate that in the game of Aussie rules.
You done on the boundary at the end?
Yeah, I was down there quite early, wasn't I?
Can you just paint a picture of the last couple of minutes and the atmosphere and what you were like personally?
Well, I remember Crowley, McPhee, they were all standing up. We're all standing up having a chat because we couldn't get anyone off in the last couple of minutes. It was one of those last 2 or 3 minutes where you've got to lock down. And just the thrill and the excitement of Nick Lower kicking that last goal that's something that the game and people that are not involved internally, that it's hard to describe, but it provides unity, it provides satisfaction of how hard we've worked so far, but we know the job's not done, not finished yet. No.
In a finish like that, to what extent do your structures and plans go out the window? And does it partly become about instinct?
It'd be fair to say it becomes a one-on-one battle after that, yeah. That's where it goes. If you're ahead, you're trying to lock it down and minimise risk. If you're behind, you're trying the perfect play through the corridor and trying to score. We're fortunate enough to be in the position of where we could lock it in.
Was it their pressure that were causing so many turnovers and sort of skill mistakes and things, or was it just the fact that it was so slippery out there?
No, it was slippery. There was dew, obviously, and when you play at night here, that can be the obvious sort of ground that you play on, and so there was a lot of not ball fumbling by both sides. I thought at times they were a bit cleaner than us by foot, and something we need to address.
4-1 going into the break. How do you feel your place going into the next phase of the season?
I think it gives you time now to plan and make sure your strategy's right for our next game. there's no sense in this game getting carried away with where you're at, because we understand that if you have a look at the competition, once again, this round's provided very close results, and you're only an injury or two away from perhaps winning those close ones. So I just, the boys, they've given it their all tonight, and that's important for our supporters and members. And that roar that was going in that last quarter, it's like being at the MCG with 80 or 90,000 people.
Everybody's always talking about who's next after Collingwood, who's the challenger. Do you feel that you're as good a side as any, really, to be right up there?
We're not there yet, no. We're sort of aiming and working hard towards it, but we need to. I mean, we don't play Collingwood till later in the year anyhow, so we just need to keep progressing with what we're confronted with. And there'll be sides that we play over coming weeks that everyone will expect us to win, but it's not the case. We understand that we have to make sure that we're diligent with what we do in our planning and the way we play.
So what are the things that the team has to do from here on in to get to that next level, to be consistently considered one of the teams right up there, top 2, top 3?
Probably need to, at times, move the ball better than what we are. I think our endeavour and our spirit, if you have a look at contested ball, I think we were down again tonight. Particularly hard balls, so that's an area we need to focus on, but it's just to be able to move the ball and exploit teams when we need to. Yeah, I mean, when he copped that hit in that third quarter, going back with the flight of the ball, and Luke just got up and as if nothing really had happened, and I thought he had a terrific duel and obviously had a good night against Barry Hall. Barry didn't appear right to me. But that, we spoke about courage and sacrifice and in our game, in the air and at ground level, well, he provided that moment that we, and I mentioned it at three-quarter time, and I guess those sorts of things are things of where your team can grow in confidence by your acts.
How's Greg Broughton?
He'll be fine. He'll be right for next week.
What did he have wrong?
Just back-related soreness, yeah.
We've seen a few teams struggle after the break. What do you do? Do you do anything differently than what other sides might be doing?
Well, I mean, everyone handles it differently. To be honest, I don't know how a lot of other clubs have handled it. I guess as the season progresses deeper, I guess teams are more looking for a break. So we've got to keep our minds on the job. That's the most important thing.
Is that what happened, do you think, tonight? Do you think, maybe not so much the break or anything, but do you think it was just a bit of a mental shutdown at that 10-minute mark of the final quarter that allowed them to sort of get those 4 goals in a row?
Yeah, sometimes momentum and halting momentum can be difficult, particularly when everyone's fatigued. I thought we were in the face of the Bulldogs the whole time. I think they only took 40-odd contested marks, so that's the sort of pressure you need to apply to the Bulldogs if you're going to beat them. Thanks.